What up, Wilders? Belshi Bits here, where I break down the complexities of Wilder World and Zero, as well as bring you updates from across the metaverse. In this video, I want to talk about CYPHER, a recent announcement from MEOW that talks about an avenue in which they will be funding the tools that will help create the metaverse. The metaverse is a multitude of different metaverse platforms. Wilder World is a metaverse platform. You have Sandbox and Decentralized, Illuvium and Star Atlas. These are all different metaverse platforms building the larger metaverse. But in order to do that, you have to have tools. In order to expand that so you can have a billion creators building the metaverse, you have to have tools. And in order to fund those tools, CYPHER is becoming a funding vehicle. So essentially, already, there are 9 efforts being made. The 9 efforts being made, you can see here, are Zero, Wilder World, MEOW, Labyrinth, Z-Chain, ZID, Aura, the Grid, and they even talk about Nova. So let's dive into each one of these tools real quick. So right here, they have a great graphic that they talk about. So Zero is going to be an everything app. An app to chat, create, trade, earn, and all in one place. Next, you have Wilder World, which is a massive scale, decentralized, photorealistic metaverse. Then you have MEOW, which is an intention token that will live natively on 9 chain. Next, you have Z-Chain, which is a blockchain, a fast, secure, and decentralized layer 1 blockchain. Then you have Labyrinth, which is a liquidity network, a vast on-chain liquidity network powered by AI. Then we have ZID, which is a decentralized identity and naming protocol. And then after that, you have Aura, which is an agentic AI network. Then you have Nova, which is a DEX or a marketplace, which will be a fast and low-fee decentralized exchange and NFT marketplace. Then lastly, you have the Grid, which is a resilient distributed data storage layer. So CYPHER is the means in order to fund the tools needed in order to transition consumers to creators. All right, so let's talk about the capital that they raised and what it's going to be used for. They partnered with Republic to raise $21 million in capital that they're going to be receiving in Q3 and Q4. And the awesome thing about raising this capital is they're doing it in a way that they stay above board with all the different regulatory needs that they are going to need to have in order to be funding these projects and to be raising capital. So later on this year, they're going to be utilizing the $21 million in order to purchase things like Wild, MEOW, digital NFT assets within the Wilder World ecosystem, as well as land within Wilder World. They're going to be purchasing ZNS domain names that make sense, as well as other things like BTC and ETH. The article also highlights that by mid-2026, and depending on market conditions, they'll raise an additional $100 million. The article also highlights the future of TGEs and ecosystem airdrops. They talk about how they're not in a rush to just be releasing tokens, but that they want to solidify and strengthen what they've already released. But they do highlight the avenue in which individuals will be able to gain access to these TGEs whenever they do come available, and that is going to be through catnip. Essentially, by staking your Wild and MEOW, you'll earn catnip, and this is going to be the reward token that you'll be able to burn in order to gain access to certain TGEs that you find interesting and you want to be a part of. And you're able to start this process right now. You're able to go onto the Zero app and utilize it. And by utilizing it, you'll earn MEOW. Then you're able to, within the app, stake your MEOW. And for all the MEOW that you have staked, you'll earn a certain amount of catnip. And then you're able to claim that catnip. And at a future time, you'll be able to burn that catnip in order to gain access to these different TGEs. All right, so let's talk about Z-Chain and why it's important. They start off by asking the question, why is creating another blockchain important? They go over 3 points: sovereignty, value, and speed. They want to make sure that everything on the blockchain creates this aura or this energy of individual sovereignty, where people have control over their own assets and their own value and the things that they create and the things that they gain. And then Neo goes over value. When the internet came out, the internet could have been extremely valuable. But what's really creating the value are all the different apps that are built on top of the internet. Blockchain is the same way. Right now, the speculation of blockchain and the use of it is at an all-time high because everyone's speculating what will it all be used for. But that's going to shift into apps, and the different apps that are going to be utilized will gain the greatest value. You can see that with like Amazon, you can see that with Apple. These are conglomerate individual companies that have utilized the internet in order to capitalize the billions, actually trillions of dollars that they have. Then they talk about speed, and they talk about the importance that the on-chain metaverse is going to need next generation blockchain and speed, because things need to happen at near immediate execution. And then on top of that, it needs to be able to scale without restraint. It needs to have unlimited access to scalability. And so the team needed to build a blockchain that will be able to handle all of those high throughput demands. And Neil highlights the reasons why he believes such value is going to be drawn in that. He talks about how bits move faster than atoms, that digital life is dominant. And something else that he highlights on is that there's an infinite amount of space within the digital realm. To really drive the point home, Neil talks about the importance of how VWAs and AI will be displacing so much of what we know about the world today. In short, everything is going digital, and AI is going to change us from consumers to creators, because we're going to be able to have an idea and utilize AI to realize all of those different complex ideas that we may have. He also talks about that normally the platform owns everything, even though a lot of value comes from the creators that make those platforms successful. Cypher wants to fund the cohesive effort of all of these tools providing provenance to the creators. And their mission is to empower creators, knowing that the more creators that they empower, the more the platform will benefit. Now, I know that was a tongue tie to get out, but it's really important for everyone to understand that these companies are standing on a certain set of principles and morals in order to help fund creators to create more, to get out of the headspace of being consumers and to start being more creators in this space, to realize all the amazing ideas that people may have. They just need a means in order to do so, and Cypher is that cohesive effort in order to fund those great ideas. So my call to action to you is join Zero today. I will leave an invite code down below. But you need to start following this team and start paying attention to all the different protocols and apps that they are releasing, because they're all going to start connecting all the dots in order to realize a multitude of different metaverse platforms, as well as different types of softwares and applications, 3D art, music, and everything else that an individual can create and imagine will start being released on Zero. Use my code below. I'm not saying this as a shill. I'm saying this because I believe it. I'm a creator, and I can't wait to start using my creations on this application more and more. And in the end, I want you to start utilizing it too, and I can help onboard you. Go do it now. Utilize my code, get on, start building a community, and start to realize the dreams that you've always dreamed of doing, and start doing more of what you want to do.